Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Another episode of Hypecast!
Hype.
Oh, it's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell.
And I'm your guest, Starline Hodge.
Star.
Hi.
How are you? How are you?
I am good. I am ready to get married and then continue on like everything else is normal.
Right, we're gonna do the wedding here on the podcast.
Yep.
Congratulations! I'm so excited for it.
Thank you.
It's gonna be fun.
It will be very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And looking forward to getting a sweet, sweet podcast episode out of it.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, we're gonna. Yeah.
Of course.
I just always assumed that we would be recording.
Just bring your mics to the venue. We'll have a spot for you. No worries.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it right there.
Yeah, we'll just
right during the ceremony.
We'll set up a little table, and we'll be shitty about movies while you're trying to get married.
Right.
Just compare our wedding to every like marriage in various movies.
Yeah, I'll just give each one the end of The Graduate or something.
Yeah.
You revealed that there's going to be donuts, and let me tell you, I am going to embarrass myself with those donuts.
I think
it's gonna be
getting some of your friends together for the first time since the pandemic around a table full of donuts is gonna get dark.
I mean, that's fine. I will be right there with you because I've been denying myself donuts for like the last month because I can't not fit in this dress.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to be right there with you.
Good. Just all be quietly eating donuts, not even talking to each other. Just everybody just like standing around them.
The donuts will rue this day.
Yeah. What else you been up to? It's really just, I imagine it's kind of very singular minded right now.
Yeah, it's just wedding stuff like crazy and then making art for my shops. And that's about it. Nothing exciting because there's still a pandemic.
What kind of art? What kind of shops? Is there an address?
Yes, I have two shops. One of like kind of cute fantasy art type things and stickers at starlinearts.com, and then a brand new Judaica arts and crafts shop called atarasarena.com. So
right.
Those are my two art shops.
Cool.
Go get some stickers. I would appreciate it. Weddings are expensive.
Yeah. That's true. I feel like, everybody go support the wedding.
Yeah, buy some stickers. Get some sticks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Put them on things like animals.
Mm-hmm.
Do the whole,
put them on donuts.
Put it on water bottles and notebooks and your friends' laptops.
And animals.
And animals.
Yeah.
And donuts.
Yeah, put a sticker on the side of a cat. You'll have a great 10 minutes of entertainment.
Yeah, well, it flips out. Yeah.
I mean, you're going to destroy that relationship, but still.
Yeah, it was already.
It's a cat. Like, you just get another one. Whatever.
Speaking of which, I'm getting another cat soon, you guys.
Really?
Pretty
Oh, no.
soon. Me and Hannah.
No.
Yeah, Hannah's been itching for a cat. She's been looking at it. She's been on the cat Tinder.
Oh.
I think in May, we're gonna pull the trigger.
Are you gonna get a kitten or like another old soul?
So I would love to get an older cat, but I think we have to get a kitten because it won't know to hate yet, and kitten's going to do enough hating for both of them. Like, kitten is not going to be happy. And so I think we need, like, a kitten that can, like, follow her lead, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, as opposed to a cat that's set in their ways. I would love to get an older cat, but yeah, I think it would be a shit show.
But I mean, kitten has been used to other older cats hanging out with it periodically in its life, yes?
Yes, but it's hit or miss. That's the thing, if the other cat is aggressive, then kitten will not deal with it. The other cat has to be very chill already, and even then it's a problem.
Okay.
I've cat sat for Robert Evans, and that cat is chill to an extent. But it's like every time my cat sat for the first like week, it's like they never met each other, and it's like every time it's like fur flying, just so pissed off, and it's like you guys know each other, you've lived together for years, and so it's like I have to reintroduce them every time, and then they get along. So I don't know. I just figure a kitten is probably a safer bet.
Okay, well, hit me up after the show. I have a friend who's currently fostering a bunch of kittens. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Oh shit. I gotta figure out what to name it. I assume Hana will. I'm gonna give Hana the honors because I named Kitten and I didn't do a very good job at it. So.
No, you've actually thwarted this conversation a great deal by naming your cat that.
I know it's very difficult.
Just Kitten too.
Yeah.
Or both of them are just named Kitten, and it just is.
Or you just call one. Yeah. You call the kitten Cat.
Cat. I was thinking actually puppy. So we have kitten and puppy.
Yeah, that would be a thing you could do.
Yeah, that's a thing.
She should just name it Dave.
Yeah, little Dave. There's so many. The possibilities are endless. Could name it Shitten.
Yeah,
shit.
It's right there.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's cute. Kitten and Shitten. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated.
You could name it Soda.
Soda?
Soda.
Could name it Soda?
Yeah.
I always wanted to. I was thinking Burden because that sounds like a cute name.
I like Burden.
And it also like perfectly describes what the animal is in my life. So I like that.
Would your audience, would you be open to audience suggestions?
People can tweet at me. I'll ignore it, but I'm open to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm open to people doing that. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do anything. Like read the suggestions.
No guarantee that I'll even acknowledge it, but you are free to do so.
Someone just might have the perfect name.
That's true. Tom, how are you? We're going around the table.
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any new cats?
No, I'm thinking about cruising
Weddings?
by that a friend of Stars that has a litter of kittens to give away.
You gonna do it? You gonna grab one?
Yeah, possibly.
All right.
You know, depending. Depending. I gotta check with some people.
Sure.
On
What are you gonna name it? What are you gonna name your 3 new cats?
I don't know. Contraband. That's definitely one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Contraband.
Window, probably. One of them would probably be called Window.
Window? These are great. You're killing it.
And then if you got one called Window, you gotta have one called Bus Driver.
Bus Driver is... these are all so fucking good.
So yeah, we've got... what did I say?
Cat BD.
Contraband?
Contraband, Window, and Bus Driver.
I really like naming cats after, like, objects. Like
or concepts.
Or concepts. Yeah, that's really good.
A+ in my book. Or
Ooh. Good cat name? Fear.
Yeah,
Fear.
Fear, terror. Yeah.
Yep. Ooh.
I'm a big fan of naming animals after intangible concepts.
Yeah. Oh man.
Just call one of the kittens Time Travel, Dave.
Time travel.
Yeah. Math.
just relativity.
Yeah, relativity.
Vehicular homicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of weird names, we could thank some producers. You guys want to thank some producers? All right. Well, big thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank you.
Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Left.
Thank you.
Thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporium.
Thank you.
Thank you to Ryan, the Silly Money Goose.
Thank you.
Thank you to Snapper Carr, punches God in the dick.
Ah, yeah, he does.
Thank you to @Nerd Numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you to, where am I? Mike the Lurker. Thank you, Mike. Thank you to DJ Finney.
On the ones and twos.
Yeah, thank you to Dracula, the bus-driving vampire.
Toot toot.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
Sure does.
And thank you to David
Knife Boot
Henson. Thank you.
All right, let me swoop in here. Thank you to Grumblebee.
Thank
you
you.
to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you.
Thank you to Look Mom on a podcast.
Thank
you to Seismic Charge Noise.
Thank you.
Thank you to Deborah's Awesome, Barbara's Great, and Cancer Can Go to Hell.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Numina Ultra Microscopic Silica Volcanoconiosis Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Jones.
What?
Thank you.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That is, yeah. We know who that is.
We know who it is. You know who it is.
Yeah, you know who that is. Thank you to the baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
Thank you to Chiz Lily Tits.
Thank you.
Thank you to These 7 Bs.
Thank you.
Thank you to Breezy Ruizy.
Thank
you to Davey Francis Ford the Revenge.
Thank you.
And thank you to MVB.
Thank you.
Oh man, what a delightful, what a smorgasbord, Dave. What a cornucopia of producers.
Yes. Also, quite a selection of trailers we got here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That is
this
why
was
we're
actually
here.
Yeah, this was actually a trailer we missed last week. I got a text from my sister about this first one. It was like, how did you not talk about the baby?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
I had not heard of this until I saw this link, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a perfect idea, which is a woman finds a baby that ruins her life and I think kills all her friends or like kills the people around her. It's a very cynical view of a baby.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not. It feels like that's not. I know it's cynical, but I'm like, they're not lying.
No, what it looks like they're doing is it looks like they're taking they're making everything. It's like literal. It's a literal version of what goes into raising a child, and kind of like how becoming a parent makes you a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like these things are like where I don't now my mind's blanking on examples, but like she starts to get real paranoid about people coming near the baby because it's going to harm them. But of course that's just like, you know, like real hardcore helicopter parents, or like, you know, when you first have a baby, you're struggling to keep them alive, basically, like anything.
Like they're so vulnerable.
Yes, they're the most vulnerable things ever. So you become this paranoid little basket case.
Yeah.
What got me most in the trailer was how like all her social relationships were like just disappearing.
Yeah.
Because of the baby. Right. And I'm like, oh, that's just what happens. Like, I have friends who have babies and I don't really see them for a year. And then, like, it's like they come out of a cave where she's like, hi. It's like, oh my God, I missed you.
It's very Jordan Peele, this idea. It's a movie, right? It's on HBO.
Yeah, it's a limited. It looks like a limited series.
Okay.
It's from the UK. So.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, 3 episodes, but each episode is probably like a movie type situation.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're presenting it. Yeah, they're presenting it very much like a horror, but they call it a comedy in the.
Yeah, and the trailer's mostly funny.
Yeah,
that's true.
It has horror
I guess
beats,
it's more
but
of like the tone. The tone is very horror. Yeah, it's coming out the 24th of April, so soon.
Yeah. I'm interested in checking this one out. The only thing you mentioned Jordan Peele, and it is super similar, but it feels even more. Intentionally so, but it feels like more obvious than.
Yes, it's very obvious.
But it's intentionally obvious.
Yeah, yes. They're not trying to like be like, we're art here and let's like make people figure out the meaning. They're like, no, we want to make this as clear as possible.
The meaning is very clear. If they called it The Baby, like there's no mystery here.
Right. I think I'm trying to think of what else it's like, because I do feel like there's things that's been like this where it's like we're absolutely not hiding what this is about. And they're not.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not immediately.
We don't have to brainstorm.
I mean,
yeah.
I would say like maybe Bridgerton. Bridgerton's like that in that sense of like, this is exactly what we are. This is fluff. It's not real.
Right.
Watch it. It's a romance novel on screen kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I guess I'm thinking like Alex Garland's new one, Men, where it's like, I wonder what this is about.
Well, yeah, but like compared to like Alex Garland's Annihilation, where there's like, ooh,
right.
like that's really, really dense, and this is just like, well, no, the metaphor is very obvious, and we want you to spot this right away. Right up
because
front.
honestly, how do you hide the metaphor?
Yeah.
You know, like you have to be like, yeah, we all see what this is about.
Yeah.
This baby's scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
you
this
know,
is gonna be a fun one.
It reminds me of She Dies Tomorrow, Dave.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Star, I assume you haven't seen She Dies Tomorrow.
I have definitely not.
It's about a woman who one day decides, I'm going to die tomorrow. There's no reason to think it. And then everybody around her starts slowly deciding they're also going to die tomorrow.
Oh.
And it's just like a pandemic where everybody becomes like convinced that this is their last day on Earth. It's a really interesting idea.
That feels like a Japanese horror type story.
Right.
Yeah,
the
idea is it's about anxiety and like what if. So what made me think of it as it compares to the baby is like the baby is like, well, what if everything about raising a child was literal, like all those fears were literal, and she dies tomorrow. It's like, well, what if anxiety was contagious?
Yeah. It's a really interesting horror movie because it's not really horror. Like it's something you could, from what I recall, you could watch it just fine.
Yeah,
it's just
if it's similar to like how this baby at trailer was. Like this is as far as like my horror kind of goes, where I'm like, okay, like there's something into like, oh, they're like keeping it light with humor, even though it's dark. Like I could like live in that world. Versus like one of the other trailers that you showed where I did not finish the trailer, Dave.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, is it we'll get, okay.
It's the very short trailer that you did not finish, yeah. Well, let's talk about this next one. Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank.
Oh, man. What?
With Samuel Jackson doing the intro.
Yeah. That was the best part of it, I think. I don't know. This looks like... what was the name of that cartoon? Like that Hanna-Barbera cartoon dog, like Kung Fu-y or something?
Yes, it's Kung Fu-y.
So this looks like just like the character looks almost identical to Kung Fu-y. Am I being ridiculous? Or
I think Kung Fu-y was blue.
Now I gotta look it up.
I think he was blue.
Here's what I'll say. What sets this out? I would argue.
Oh no, you're right. He was. Yeah, this is the same dog.
So
it's Hong Kong Fooey. I'm sorry, not Kung Fooey.
So here's something I'm going to need to know about, and we might have to research this. So first of all, yeah, the animation looks nice, but like it does look like a lot of other things.
It does.
So they mentioned that Mel Brooks is one of the voices.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, that's interesting. He's also credited as original writer alongside Richard Pryor.
Wait, what?
I know. And Andrew Bergman. It looks like this must have originally been a Mel Brooks film that like never got made.
That's wild.
Did they tone it down? Because
it must be because the other writers are the writers of Blazing Saddles. Either that or this is like a remake of Blazing Saddles. That doesn't make any sense.
No,
I don't see how that works.
I'm going to keep exploring a little bit here.
Okay, because you've now really intrigued me, because before I was just like, oh, okay, this looks like a movie that like parents are going to be like, God damn it.
Okay, well, here's another factor.
It looks like less good Kung Fu Panda. Sorry.
Yes.
No, yeah. It was originally titled Blazing Samurai.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Oh no! So it is.
I
It's
think-
Blazing Saddles, but set in like cat.
But
China.
samurai movies.
Oh no!
But obviously they something happened in the process where they're like, will you accept a kids movie? And let's see. Okay, I found it out. Yep. The film is loosely inspired by the 1974 Mel Brooks film Blazing Saddles. That is wild.
That's quite a leap. Like,
Yeah.
It must, to give him a writing credit, there must be something
Is
more
give all of that.
strongly connected to Blazing Saddles
is
than what
Samuel
we're seeing in the
Jackson's
trailer.
character supposed to be playing Richard Pryor's character, like the?
Richard
Well,
Pryor's
Richard
not
Pryor
in it.
isn't in it. But I'm gonna look this up. I assume, yeah, he wrote Blazing Saddles. I assume he was supposed to be in Blazing Saddles.
He was supposed to be, pretty sure he was supposed to be Cleavon Little, but there
Yeah,
was
yeah,
something where he couldn't do it, and I can't remember if it's because he was in trouble at the time with the
He
studio.
did get in trouble.
I mean, he was constantly in trouble in the 70s. I was trying to, I can't quite remember. But that's
One of the many things that drugs get you in trouble with.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't-
this is
but he's not even. Yeah, it's Sam Jackson's samurai mentor character is not really comparable to any character in Blazing Saddles. Kind of Gene Wilder a little bit, but
yeah. I'm gonna have to see
Dude,
this.
now I have to see it. Yeah.
Are they gonna have a bunch of samurai pretending to be KKK members coming up in there?
Oh
right,
boy, I hope so
I
in this PG movie.
I-
Wait. My memories of Blazing Saddles. There are a few things that I remember.
Here's the only thing I can assume is actually going to be the through line. The only thing I can assume is that it's going to be a world of cats, right? And then it's a dog trying to be a samurai, something like that, right?
They hire a
And
dog to be their local sheriff because they don't care about what happens to him.
Exactly.
So dogs are supposed to be the black people.
I'm just guessing.
We're guessing.
Well, what I'm guessing is that I'm fascinated to know the behind the scenes. I'm guessing that they wrote it, and then the studio was like, "This is Blazing Saddles," and they were like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "This is Blazing Saddles. We can't make this." Or Mel Brooks was like, "This is you guys. You're making Blazing Saddles," and he got involved somehow, and it worked out so much that he did a voice.
Can I be a cat voice and get them writing credits?
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if he was offered it, and then he looked at the script and he was like, "Okay, so two things. One, you're making a movie I made, and two, yes, but you have to give the right people money." That's my only guess.
That's so weird.
That is.
Because nothing about this
man.
trailer, it just looks like it's goofy little dog voiced by Michael Cera wants to be a samurai. Sam Jackson's the old cat samurai who's kind of over it, but is going to teach him how to be a samurai, and a lot of slapstick hijinks ensue.
Yeah,
I did
he has to,
not get
protect the
Blazing Saddles
town.
from that. Yeah.
And there's going to be a girl character who's way more competent that they're just going to be put off to the side. It's very It's very regular movie. It didn't seem like anything special.
Yeah.
So I just found details. It is in fact a dog who becomes sheriff of a town run solely by cats.
Huh.
That is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is interesting because I don't think...
So they cast Michael Cera as the Cleavon Little character?
Wow.
What?
Yeah. Well, here, my guess is still that that's the only similarity, that they're not...
Right.
There's
Nothing
not gonna be a
about this
racial
trailer
component.
suggested Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. But we went on a journey here. Clearly they had to legally... It's kind of there's been a few other cases of this, right? Where a movie is so similar to another that they've had to just say inspired by this.
Yeah, it happens a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if it was a legal thing after the fact as opposed to we're setting out to make Blazing Saddles. That's my guess.
Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank.
Yeah.
What a
Saddles.
shit title too. Blazing Samurai would have been better because Paws of Fury: The Legend of Hank.
Right. Here's the other thing: is by naming it Blazing Samurai, there's no way they didn't know what they were doing. Then,
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Oh no.
It might have been.
I am now obsessed with this movie.
Yeah. It really might have been them saying, like, we want to honor Mel Brooks and, like, we want to make this film and can we, like, get him? And, like, maybe it was this from the start. And it got muddled because they were like, yeah, Blazing Samurai. And then they changed the name. And then
I bet
I
it was
can
just
see
somebody
them changing. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, I bet it was somebody who's like a Blazing Saddles purist. Like, if you can't make this rated R, what are you doing? Don't make this Blazing Saddles. Like,
right. Also, did they say that Michelle Yeoh's in this?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I just missed that. I was looking at the names. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, she's. They flash like 5 or 6 names really quickly at the end, but she's one of them.
Yeah, the only one that popped out was Mel Brooks because you just don't tend to see that name anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty old, and it looks like he's doing like a bunch of stuff right now. I think maybe it's all kid stuff, so maybe he has like great grandkids or something.
I mean, he
Yeah.
must. Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
voice acting, like, if you're good at it, it's something you could do at home.
Right.
You know, you don't have to go anywhere.
And it keeps you in good with SAG. Because I don't know the exact rules, but I know you have to work every so often in order to keep your membership.
Yeah, he's doing History of the World Part 2 still, so...
Yep.
Yeah. He's keeping busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a journey. Holy shit.
I'm glad we went on this journey together. Man.
Same.
I was going to never think about this movie again, and now I can't stop thinking about it.
When does it come out?
I think soon.
I don't know. Probably. I think I noticed a lot of trailers are coming out for things that are coming out soon, and I think that's a pandemic thing where, like, they probably had this one in, like, they probably had a lot of stuff in post-production that they're like, okay, we're ready. July 15th.
July.
I'll see it for my birthday.
The bad guy is called Ikachu.
Aww.
Oh, no.
That's Ricky Gervais's character.
Right. Right. Bringing me back down by reminding me that Ricky Gervais is in this.
He sure is,
one of the
Dave.
One of the directors is the director of The Lion King, like the original,
Oh, that's good. Good for him.
Yeah.
and Stuart Little, and
Because
and a bunch of other stuff.
Disney didn't give those guys jack shit
No,
when
they
they,
did
when they
not. Definitely
remade those
did not.
movies.
Yeah. Yeah,
not
glad
the
it didn't work.
screenwriters, not the directors, even though it's the same fucking movie. Anyway.
Yep. All right. Well, next trailer, I guess. Senior Year.
Dave, you know good and well it's called Senior Year.
Senior Year. This isn't a hit against it, but this is like a lot of comedies rolled into one. It feels like a little 13 going on 30 and like little 21 Jump Street.
And Never Been Kissed.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, what was the one
yeah.
with Drew Barrymore?
But I don't know. I think this looks fun.
Yeah, I like Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
I did too.
And I feel like I haven't seen her in a while, so it's nice to see. Oh no, wait, she did have that romantic comedy spoof that came out like 2 years ago. So it hasn't been as okay. So it wasn't as long as I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this was just like one of those movies. I'm like, I saw that looking at the trailer, I was just like, this makes me feel a little old.
It kind of does. Yeah,
Right.
to be like 2002 was. It's time. It's like flashing back 20 years to 2002 when I was in
Yeah.
high school. I was like, I was in college.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, they're making nostalgia for my youth now.
They're
Yeah.
making nostalgia for like after my youth.
Yeah, it's just like, this
no.
feels.
Oh, it's real bad. It's real bad when people like on social media will talk about a cartoon from 2010 and being
Yeah.
like, man, I'm getting old. And I'm like, I don't even remember that cartoon because I was too busy being an adult.
Yeah.
The one that really stung today was on Twitter. There was Harrison Ford was trending, so I did the Denzel meme. I was like, but clicked on it, and it was another one of those guess who this picture is without looking it up, and it's just a picture of Harrison Ford.
Right.
And I was like,
saw that.
well, like, it's just Harrison Ford. But then I realized, oh, right. People in their 20s have only ever seen old Harrison Ford.
Right. It's fucked up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just clicked on it. It's just an obvious picture of famous movie star Harrison Ford.
Yeah. It's fucked up. I hate it.
Yeah. But even, like, the style of movie feels like it was done in 2000s. Like, it's not... Like, this doesn't feel like a modern comedy.
It doesn't, but it still, like, seems fun.
Yeah.
It has Alicia Silverstone in it, apparently.
Oh, yeah. She has a Clueless poster on her wall when she wakes up.
That's interesting.
The premise is Rebel Wilson is living large as a teen in 2002 as the captain of the cheerleading squad, and then is dropped during a routine and goes into a 20-year coma and wakes up from her coma and wants to finish her senior year, only now she's 40.
Yep.
Hijinks ensue.
Are they going to explain why she is the only Australian person?
Sometimes they're just Australians, Dave.
I know.
I
but
feel
they
like
show like her parents. Do they have an accent?
No, her parents are freaking Chris Parnell and
right.
Oh shoot, what's her name?
Does she have an accent in the flashbacks?
It might be a thing because I remember like way back in the day, like when Madonna first moved to London and she like suddenly had like a London accent. So that could be like Rebel Wilson's character's just like, oh, I'm Australian, and just kind of she went for it. Like,
yeah,
that's how I would explain it in universe, but I don't know.
It's not like it needs to be explained. It's just funny to me because she's very talented. I'm glad she's in the movie. But it's just like the whole time I was like, so no one's weirded out.
Right. I like that they're just Mary Holland is the woman who plays her mom.
Right.
And she was in that movie Happiest Season. She's very funny.
Okay.
Yeah, no, none. Her parents are extremely not Australian. So,
yeah. It's fine.
I hope they deal with it just the way they dealt with like Schwarzenegger, where there's like whatever.
Yeah, no one's gonna address it. It's fine.
His name's Jeff. Who gives a shit?
Right.
He sells mattresses. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
He absolutely does not.
I work in computers. No, you fucking don't, you liar.
Either that, or they could be like, yeah, that hit on your head gave you an accent.
Yeah, now you're from down under.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not aimed for me, I guess, but it looks fun. Like I would watch this.
Yeah.
If I get a chance.
Oh right, like, it's got Sam Richardson in it too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's great.
Yeah. It's got all sorts of people in it.
I'm into it.
Yeah. It looks silly. It looks fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. This next one is called Savage Beauty. This is
I don't like the title. I will say that right up front.
It sounds like an album title or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Savage Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had this one threw me for a loop because the trailer begins in English and then it switches languages halfway through, so I had to start it over with the subtitles on.
Right.
Oh, I just let it play with the different language. I was just like, I think I'm not supposed to understand, but I'm just feeling the vibes.
Sure.
Yeah.
It looks intense.
It looks kind of like, I can't quite tell, but it looks a little like a mix with a star you wrote in the notes, Nigerian Succession.
Yeah.
It felt like a mix between like that and like the Count of Monte Cristo. Like it looks like, I got the sense that she's like infiltrating this family in order to destroy them.
Right. It looked a little Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, there's a moment where like in the trailer, she's asked about being the second wife and stuff like that. So it seems like, okay, like either she's marrying into this family as the second wife or she's marrying like a son or something like that. And they're trying to like get her out because she's an outsider kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
so the plot Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Because I'm still like working on my thought.
Oh, okay. Well, the plot described see here is a woman who goes undercover as the first ambassador of a family. And then she's, I guess, trying to take them down.
Maybe I might be inferring that.
That's the plot that I see written here.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. But it's all right. The actors are South African. It looks really intense. I mean, I want to see this.
I do.
I should start by saying that.
I want to see it as well. The title put me off just because I'm like, anytime where there's like a bunch of like black people and they add the word savage, I'm kind of like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, what's going on there? But I'm also willing to give it a shot. Like there's an intention on that name, kind of thing.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, the director is also a black woman. I think it's definitely a woman. I can't find it
I feel like
too much on her.
Also,
In fact, this isn't even on IMDb yet.
Oh,
so that's
wow.
Weird. Yeah.
I was saying, isn't the from what I gleaned from the trailer is that the family is like a big fashion or design family, like a big. It seems like a big sort of empire, like big business empire.
Yes, it's a beauty empire.
Beauty empire. Okay, so that's That's.
But you are right, Stars. Maybe Netflix grabbed this. It's probably it's probably had a different title in another language, and they looked and they're like Savage Beauty, and it's like, oh, you motherfucker.
That went right past me. I was like, oh, okay, because it's like a fashion thing. All right.
I was just like, wait, what are they? What are they implying here? It just threw me off for a second because I was waiting to see in the trailer like how it tied into the title, but it didn't. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna let that go for now because the rest of this looks really interesting.
Right? Yeah. It's definitely a very independent thing that Netflix picked up. It looks like this director has also done another Netflix show, Blood and Water, or at least worked on it. So they probably had a connection, but yeah. I mean, again, the movie itself looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
It looks like a 90s thriller where I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but everybody is very serious.
Yeah, it's very tense.
Yeah.
And the cinematography looks really
that.
nice. I was just like, wow, everybody looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sets look good. It looks good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm into this. Even though I had to restart the trailer. Like, I was just letting it play for a second, like you were saying, just kind of vibing, but then it got to be like 20 seconds. It's like, I feel like they're dumping plot and I'm not catching any of it, so let me back this up.
I mean, the show might be like that too. Like, the show might be where it just switches back and forth. Like, we do not care. You will get the vibe of this show in whatever language we're going to put it in. And I'm like, I kind of respect it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I can follow.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks damn good. I think we got a lot of fucking interesting ass trailers.
Yeah.
This time around.
And then,
the next one.
And then Paws of Fury, although I cannot say that was not interesting.
No, that is extremely interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. This next one is Stranger Things.
Not familiar?
No. Season 4. What do you guys think?
I only saw season 1. I never like.
Really?
Yeah, I never kept going because season 1 like spooked me too much, and I was like, I'm good. I get the gist.
This probably looks like nonsense.
Oh yeah, watching it, I was just like, what the hell is happening? What happened to these children? They're all adults now. Why are they still dealing with monsters? These poor.
They have seen some shit.
These poor children. And then all I know about I know the name of the bad guy because D&D Twitter was losing their shit about it.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
he's
that
like
all about?
He's like some lich, I think, or
yeah,
lich.
The name of the bad guy is Vecna, and like apparently that's like a really old school D&D boss from like the 70s. And so people were excited, but also like he was the main bad guy in like the first season of Critical Role. And so people were like all like the Critical Role people were like, oh my god, it's Vecna. Remember when like those people sealed Vecna away? Look where they sealed him to. They sealed him to Indiana. So it's like there's a lot of like those jokes, but like Vecna's this old school D&D bad guy, and people were stoked.
Yeah, you should watch the other 2 seasons. They stuck with that vibe, like the Demogorgon, it's like a D&D creature, and then they had Mind Flayer in the seasons 2 and 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a real freaky-ass D&D monster.
Right. It's mainly because the kids themselves play a lot of D&D,
yeah,
so
they're naming
they
the
keep identifying
monsters,
it. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So they're just like, this creature looks like this thing in this book. Let's name it this.
Yep.
It works really well because D&D pretty much is like a Rolodex for every monster you could think of. So it's like, oh yeah, D&D has a name for that already.
Yeah, and they're obviously pretty cool with it. So
yeah. This I mean, as someone who's watched all of it, I'm excited for this. This looks hardcore.
Yeah.
This looks intense.
We
got one more season after this, right?
I believe
I
so.
like the music in the trailer. It was cool.
Oh, the Journey remix. Get some Journey.
Yep.
Oh
man, I unironically love Journey.
Finn Wolfhard looks like an int, a Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
int.
these kids are turning into these gangly motherfuckers.
Yeah,
they really are.
I was just like, oh, like they went through puberty. They are like,
yep.
They're hitting adulthood.
Yeah, they have lost the battle with puberty, and they have to accept that.
They are screaming into the ugly years.
I mean, like those early 20s, late teens age groups, like no one has their shit together unless you have like style. Millie what's her name? Is that her name? Millie? She's
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, she's the only one that looks like, oh, okay, like you have a team that's going to make sure you age gracefully through this, but everybody else, I'm like, oh no, help them.
Yeah, I think because Millie still has the resources because she's doing stuff. Although Wolfhard's doing stuff too.
He's doing a lot too,
yeah. Yeah, these kids, this is just the nature of child acting. It's nothing against these kids, but, after this show, they're going to kind of drop off the face of the earth with all of their money, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I hope they invest it well. Yeah,
I hope those kids are comfortable for the rest of their lives, and they could chill and don't do anything heinous, just like veg out.
Right.
They will get through this phase, and then they'll be fine, and they'll look perfectly normal and cool.
Yeah, I mean, I thank Jesus that I wasn't that my fucking puberty was not broadcast for millions of people on Netflix.
Yeah,
Jesus,
right?
It's a nightmare.
I feel like you should just get paid extra. Any teen actor is just like, here's extra money. Sorry for the trauma.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're gonna be like super famous. Oh, cool, but you're gonna look like a little freak while you're famous.
Yeah, I can't imagine going through my teenage years.
It's the worst time. It is the worst time.
Yes. That's why people always say to teens, like, it gets better.
Yeah.
Because, it kind of always does, because being a teenager is awful.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
Your body's against you, your brain is against you, and your friends
you have
are
no rights.
kind of against you, too, because everyone's just a mess.
Yeah.
It is the worst period of life.
Yeah, you are a hideous creature.
I feel so bad for the people who are like, no, their teens were the best years of your life. I'm like, oh no, that is a sad, sad existence if that is the case.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
It's Uncle Rico and Napoleon Dynamite.
Right.
I'm sure bet I could throw a football over the mountains. But I've remained. I know people have soured on Stranger Things a little bit. Some people, and a lot of time has gone in between seasons. But I'm still on the Stranger Things bus.
Yeah, me too.
Do you think they're?
I'm invested.
Sorry. Do you think they're gonna pull like? Didn't they do this with It, where it's like they started off as kids and then there was like it went and then they were adults?
Mm-hmm.
It would be really cool if the final season they just recast them all and made them like 40. That would be neat. I don't think they're going to do that.
No, I don't think they will.
So I think Netflix wants 2 more seasons, right? Or is it just 1 more?
I remember there was back and forth about that, and like the Duffer Brothers are the creators, and I think Sean Levy as well, who is director, executive producer, were really wanting 5 seasons.
Right.
But Netflix wanted, I think, 1 or 2 more than that. So I believe they have settled on 5.
Yeah, because it feels like they're going to be 30 by the time they finish.
Yeah, I think the that 3-year break in between season 3 and season 4, which happened for a lot of reasons, including the pandemic, probably sort of finished those negotiations for them, because it's like, well, we can't really do this too much longer because these kids they're just full-on adults now.
Yeah, no, honestly, wait until they're 30 and do that last season when they're like actually like full-on adults. I would be curious to see how
that would be cool.
Did that jump, and then they would honor it, and it'd be like, look, there's another one, you know?
Yeah, and like the way we make things now, it's like we love making sequels like 20 years later, so why not plan it in advance? But yeah, like I don't think they can do, like, no one wants to see a college-aged person riding bikes around a neighborhood.
No.
That's just like, then that's just no fun.
That's just dark.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I was never going anyplace good when I was riding my bike in college.
Exactly. That is someone who is too drunk to drive a car, who is up to no good.
I just drove. I like biked to campus because parking on campus was the worst, but
right.
It was not a fun time. It was just like, I guess here we go. Oh, it's raining every day at 4:00 in Florida, and I'm on a bicycle.
Yep.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't going on any adventures on my bike.
Yeah.
No.
I was muttering to myself riding back and forth from class until my bike got stolen.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah. We have a final trailer here. Star, how many Cronenberg films have you watched? All of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
They're my favorite movies. No, this one.
I swear we don't do this on purpose.
You say that, but then every time there's always at least one trailer where I'm like, all right, okay.
There's no getting around this. This is Crimes of the Future. We released our Dead Ringers podcast at the best possible time, Tom.
Yeah, completely by accident.
Yeah, this is David Cronenberg whipped out a new film.
He sure did.
Yeah, I was like, this is definitely, because as soon as his name popped up, and I was just like, oh no.
Yep.
I was like,
gonna go ahead and close the browser.
No, I waited until there was a part where they were like putting stuff in somebody's belly, and I was just like, and I can't, I'm out.
So I'm so happy for I'm so happy for so many people. I'm so happy that Cronenberg finally gets the full Twilight cast, because he worked with Robert Pattinson with
in what?
Cosmopolis. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, shoot, I forgot about that one.
I feel like Pattinson hung out with Kristen Stewart one day, and she's like, "Man, I want to be in a Cronenberg," because she's a weirdo.
She is,
right?
And she's cool. I like her.
She's so cool. I love everything she's in. So I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
Because this has to have been a bucket list for her of I want to be in a Cronenberg film. Of course she wants that, right?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't care for his movies, but if someone said, do you want to be like a weird dead body in one of his movies, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just so happy that this
hell yeah, what am I gonna have like an elephant coming out of my chest? Hell yeah, let's do it.
What are we doing here? Like, I won't be able to look at whatever makeup they put on me. I won't be able to stare at myself, but I would do it.
Yeah. And I'm just so happy that they all got to get together with Vigo and be just fucking
with
creeps.
Vigo!
Yeah.
He's got Vigo in it again.
Right. Also, Scott Speedman's in this.
Sure.
In Underworld.
I just learned that Scott Speedman is not American.
Weird. And he just sounds like a superhero.
Yeah. Right? With a name like that?
Yeah. Fucking Cronenberg.
Yeah.
What is this about? Does it matter?
I have no idea. It starts with Vigo in like a weird chamber that looks kind of like a Giger tanning bed, and then Léa Seydoux comes up because she's in this movie too. And she gives
She
him like
seems
a
like a
look.
weirdo too.
Oh yeah, and then Kristen Stewart's like looking through like an eye tube that is also poking into somebody's belly. It's all kinds of fucked.
Yeah.
There was,
It's just-
I think, a skeleton chair. I think I saw that before I noped out.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, that's
yeah.
a cool chair. And then there was like things going to bellies. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. I looked it up. Could you believe that this is about people changing?
Aren't all of his movies, Dave?
Metamorphosis? Yeah. It's about the not so distant future in which humankind is learning to adapt to its synthetic surroundings.
Oh,
This
yeah.
evolution moves humans beyond their natural state and into metamorphosis, which alters their biological makeup.
This feels like an Eon Flux story.
Yeah. I'm also happy for Vigo because he's a weirdo, and I bet he got a call that was like, you want to be in a Cronenberg film? And then it was a history of violence, and he's like, oh, I mean, this is fun too, but I was kind of wanting like
Right, 'cause they
bunch
got
of
him-
shit hanging off of me or something.
Isn't Eastern Promises also Cronenberg, or was that Verhoeven?
Oh, shit. Is it? Let me look
Yeah,
that
that's
up.
Cronenberg, yeah. So
Okay, so-
he kind of made 2 gangster movies with Vigo, and now he's getting to
Right.
be in like a straight up Cronenberg fest.
Yeah, Vigo on set, he kept nudging him like, when do I get a weird one? He's like,
Honestly, like, look, if he's like a weird sex lizard. Of course, he's got to be in a Cronenberg film. Look at him.
Right. So good for
Yeah,
him.
I'm very excited. Very serendipitous that we put out our Dead Ringers podcast. This
I
Yeah.
was very happy for you guys when I saw this trailer existed. I was like, oh, they're going to enjoy that very much.
Yeah. And we
kicking
did.
my little feet watching this
Yeah.
trailer.
Whoa. So I didn't know this movie existed.
What's that?
He made a movie called Spider in 2002, and it's like, yep, that's a Cronenberg.
Huh.
The poster looks like Fear.com. Like, it looks like a cheap horror movie, but it's got fucking Ray Fiennes in it. And
All
Gabriel
right.
Byrne.
Okay.
It's like, well, shit. Yeah, when Cronenberg rings the Cronenberg bell, every actor comes, right?
Yeah.
Like, he got Jude Law. Like,
The cool ones come out
Yeah.
when he rings the bell.
Exactly. And that's why it's like Kristen Stewart, I'm just happy for her that she gets to work with Jason X's David Cronenberg.
I don't
Star
know.
of Jason X.
I don't know why, but like I do know why, but I genuinely, truly believe that one day you guys will work with him. Like that's like, but sincerely, you know how like every once in a while you just have a feeling like, yeah, that's for sure gonna happen. Like that's the feeling I get whenever you guys talk about Cronenberg. I'm just like, you guys are gonna work together. Like
That's so sweet of you. Thank
like
you.
it just yeah.
I appreciate you helping us manifest that.
Yeah. If anything, I'll break into his house and get
At
arrested.
the
for
very
it.
least, I'm going to steal something from him.
Yeah. Yeah, can you imagine the shit he's got in his house?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's just nothing? What if his house is
Right.
just very like minimal,
Very conservative.
minimal art?
Yeah.
Like just like no, I don't want anything in here. It looks like an empty hotel room.
I mean, to be honest, that's the most disturbing option.
Honestly, just that with maybe a couple of old birthday cards still standing
Right.
up on his coffee table or something.
Right.
He's like, oh, you want my art? That's at my studio. Like I do not keep that at home.
Right? Yeah, I separate.
He
work
just
and home
gives you a
life.
haunted look. I must keep them separate.
Yes.
Right.
Like
I'm looking up his acting career, and I forgot that he was in The Stupids. Mm-hmm. Because he's in The Stupids.
Isn't he just straight up the villain in Nightbreed?
He might be, yeah. And I guess he's in Star Trek Discovery. He's in it a lot. So that's interesting.
really?
Huh.
Yeah. He's in 7 episodes, which means he's probably like a Alien of the Week type. Like he's probably like a regular nemesis.
Is he?
I'm
What
guessing.
Did they say what season?
Not seeing what season.
Oh, okay.
I can click on one of the episodes. I haven't watched it. This looks like season 4. There's 4 seasons?
Okay, I've gotten through like 2, and it's fine. I watch it because I play D&D with one of the guys on the show, and I was just like, I should watch the show you're in.
That's awesome.
And
You
like,
don't have
That's fair.
to.
well, I felt like I was just like, I shit. Honestly, like it's this is gonna sound like a name drop, but I sincerely didn't realize that this person was so famous when we started playing together. I was just like, oh, he's just some guy. So I play D&D with Anthony Rapp every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
And
he is rather famous.
Yeah, I had no clue, no idea
That's so
how
funny.
famous this man was. I was just like, oh, he's this guy. He's kind of boisterous on D&D. Like, he's fun. This is cool. Great character acting. And then later it was just like, oh, he's on Star Trek. I'll watch the show. Like, why not? And I'm
he
like,
was in
oh.
an X-Files episode.
He was in
Sure
X-Files.
is.
He's in Rent. I was like, what? I was like, oh, he's like...
He is in Rent.
I was
Yeah.
like, he's
I
like
really-
famous. I was like, oh, fuck.
he's the bad guy in Road Trip.
Yeah. I really like the idea. I really like the conversation of him like, yeah, I'm in a show. And you're like, oh, what is it? And he's like, Star Trek. And you're like, oh, I guess I'll check that out. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I was like excited. I was just like, oh, cool. Like, you're in the new Star Trek. But like in my head, all I know of it was like based on stuff that you guys said. We were like, it's fine. It's not like old school Star Trek. Da 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 da. And I was just like, all right, cool. Good for him that he's on like this new season. And then yeah, I'm like, oh, you're like a big person. And I will admit, like watching the show, I'm like, okay, his character is one of my favorite characters on there. But I still have not continued seasons because I'm like, there's other stuff to watch.
That's really funny.
But he's really nice. He's very sweet, and he's a great D&D player.
Cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And yeah. What were we talking about? David Cronenberg. How did we get... Jesus.
Because he was on Star Trek. That's how we got there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my God! Ask him if he met David Cronenberg.
I will do
if
that
you-
the next time I get to play.
Okay, good. And try to get me and Tom in a Cronenberg film.
try to get us them digits.
Yeah, just say like, I know a couple of fucking freaks who would be in one of his films.
I'm gonna watch those episodes and then have that as my in. I was just like, oh man, what was it like doing that? Oh, do you have that?
Yeah.
Do you have that guy's contact info?
Yeah, can you get me his number?
Can I shoot him an
I
email?
wanna call
I want
David
to tell him
Cronenberg.
what a great job those episodes were. You know?
Right. I love the idea that maybe David Cronenberg is really accessible. Like you could just get his number and talk to
You
him.
just call David Cronenberg.
Yeah. That's like Crispin Glover, how he put his phone number on his album.
But the thing
Yeah.
is,
And
I
you
feel
could just
like
call it.
I feel like Hollywood every once in a while is just that simple. Like it's just
Oh yeah.
somebody knows somebody, and you happen to talk to them, and then boom, you have an email address, and you're like, how the fuck did that happen?
You're right.
As in my experience, that's how it is most of the time.
Yeah. Damn it. Does that mean like we should have asked Mac for Joe Pesci's email?
Probably.
Do you think Mac has Joe Pesci's email? That'd
He
be great.
might.
Yeah.
I mean,
He might.
minimum he has his email.
Yeah.
You'd think.
I want to email Joe Pesci.
Kinda.
Yeah. I want to catfish him.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Catfishy. All right. No, that didn't quite work.
fine.
Let's name some more producers, Dave.
All right. Big thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro.
We're on to you, but thanks.
Yep. Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Sure do.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you.
Thank you to Steven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Thank you.
Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Happy Ed 209.
Thanks, buddy. Let me jump in here. Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank
Thank you
you.
to Manischewitz Molotov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
It's true.
Here,
Yep.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you to E.T. the extravagant terresticle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cody Johnston's time machine noise.
Thank you.
Thank you to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you.
Thank you to Glitterous, CFO of Michael Shannon's Chocolate Factory.
Thank you.
Thank you to pre-order Jason Pargin's new book. Pre-orders are super important.
Thank you.
Boy, they sure are.
So we have actually two bits of Warner Brothers news because Warner Brothers Discovery is a thing, right?
Yeah, that just
Now-
happened this week, and I actually have a friend who works at Turner Classic Movies, and he was like giving us like, "Yep, we're outside eating ice cream now." Like they're doing like the whole new boss, and he's
Yeah, I remember
it's a new
that.
boss week at Warner.
Oh, fun. But it sounds like so. The other news was that they're going to reassess the DC stuff. So whoever's calling the shots now seems to have been listening to like to our podcast.
To our
I'm gonna
podcast
take
specifically,
credit. Yeah, because they're reassessing DC, and they're also deciding that this is such a novel idea. They're going to wait to see how a movie does before going into production of the sequels. So they are not greenlighting any more Fantastic Beasts sequels until they see if this one's going to be profitable or successful.
Yes.
And that's what a quaint idea.
I mean,
you know?
it sounds so lovely that's how.
Maybe
what a wild thing to do.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't plow ahead with a 10 movie series before discovering if people want that.
It was 5 or 7, right? It was 5.
5, sure.
Yeah. They announced it as 5 movies, and here we 3 movies in, we're like, maybe not.
Yeah. And personally, go on.
I was gonna say, I like that if this is what they're gonna do, that means they're gonna have to make movies that work on their own as a singular movie, like it's not part 1.
Yes. There's I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Star, I feel like you like the Harry Potters, right?
I do, but it's hard to be a Harry Potter fan right now, so I'm kind of like...
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I have to take it as like, I was a big fan for a while. I'm currently not a big fan, but I can't erase all the memories and knowledge I have of the series from my brain, so it's in there.
Yeah. This is something that happens in filmmaking a lot. Like, just a lot of monsters.
Yes.
A lot of bad people. We learn how to separate those two. It is wild that, like, Harry Potter kind of created a generation of people, young people who are, very LGBT friendly.
Yeah, lots of empathy, because the whole theme is just like love people.
Right.
Big message. Big message. And
there's some weird stuff in the series that people have noticed after the fact.
There sure
but
is.
Yes.
there's a banker race. But overall it's just like a weird situation that I think everybody's navigating. And honestly, I do think it's a healthy process to be like, look, I grew up on this stuff, or look, I really like this work. But this person, I cannot reconcile.
Yeah,
my feelings.
It's not exactly the same. Although I figure the more horseshit J.K. Rowling spews out, the more people are going to examine the books and probably find some of that in there, because it's
right.
hard not to. But like, I kind of look at it the same way as you look at like H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
or your Mel Gibsons, or your Roman Polanskis,
sure,
or anybody who you didn't, or I guess Woody Allen, although I never liked Woody Allen.
Neither did I.
Like
I tried too.
Yeah,
I tried in high school.
I tried a couple times, and I'm like, I don't care for this.
Yeah, it's
right.
like, I get it, but like, I don't like it.
Right. It's anybody that you realize at a certain point, I cannot support this person.
Yeah.
And I think most people kind of float between, everybody seems to have their own line, and I feel like with Harry Potter fans it's probably very much like, I'll go back and watch the movies, but new movies, I don't know, like the trailers for this boast from J.K. Rowling, and it's like, really, you're still putting her name up there?
Yeah,
maybe you're legally obligated to.
I think they have to be legally obligated to, but also like,
yeah,
these movies, well, like, I watched the first one, and I'm a big advocate of, I don't want sequels if I did not like the first one. And I didn't like the first.
What an idea!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other layer to this, is that these movies suck.
Yeah.
Like, I think we commented, last time we saw a trailer for this, they're not even like advertising the main character in the trailers.
No.
Like, he's not a factor. It seems to be, they grab Jude Law and they're like, listen, this is like, it feels desperate, right? Like, they're like, we're going back to Hogwarts, and look, all the things are there, and they're riding around on broomsticks, and Dumbledore's there. Like, they're clearly just trying to make another Harry Potter at this point.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, listen, it's over. It's over. Yeah. And whoever has taken over Warner Brothers, I feel like sat them down and said the same thing, which is like, you got to make new things.
Yeah, because everything about the Fantastic Beasts like era me as like when I, like as like someone who did enjoy the first books and was kind of like, oh, I wonder how it was like in the past. Every take and thought and idea in this like in these prequels, I'm just like, I don't like any of this. I don't resonate with any of this. It's
right.
It's, and also, like, I know, like, at some point, like, they go around the world, but that first movie was based on the U.S., and it was just like, oh, did you not do any research of what was going on in the U.S. in, like, the 1910s and 20s? Like, none of this makes any sense, and it was just like, oh, this was written by someone who does not know this, like, this culture, you know? And, like, so I was just like, I was just put off from that, and that's why I was like, well, I'm not going to watch the rest of them, because, A, I don't like the story. I was like, I'm good.
Right.
And at the time, I didn't care for, like, Johnny Depp in there either. I was just like, none of this feels good. All this feels icky. I'm out.
Yeah. And it's so many things have fizzled out. And I realize, like, if these studio execs are wondering, like, what's Marvel's secret? I think the secret is they have decades of source material to cannibalize, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, they don't run out of stories because they've already figured them out. They already know where everything's heading. Whereas this and Star Wars, like, I don't normally like to see, like, be happy about misfortunes, but these are big studios, so who gives a shit? They're not people. Like, I love that Star Wars was like, we're going to do one every year, and it lasted a few years, and then they're all like, we're going to be very quiet now.
I think it lasted exactly 3.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I want this. I want Fantastic Beasts to fail, so these studios will learn, like this, like it's that thing of, like, if you don't stop making them, this is how it's always going to end. It's always going to end with a whimper.
Yep.
And, like, you're not going to finish your series because you just kept making more and more until people got sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also can't. It is a business, but also it's the business of storytelling. So it's like you can't just focus on the commerce side of it and hope the story falls into place, because that's why people like movies, is because they like the fucking story.
Right.
Like, they don't give a shit about your quarterly needs for a tentpole movie. Like,
if Warner Brothers had hired, like, another writer to write a Fantastic Beasts book series, and I know, like, at the time when they started, we didn't know how horrible J.K. Rowling was, but even then, like, make another book. Because the reason, like, the Harry Potter movies are fine, but the reason they did well is because the books kind of, like, gave them a backbone to kind of go off of, so they didn't have to do everything in the books. Like, if you watch the movies just on their own, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense unless you've read them, you know?
That's true, because I've only watched the movies, and especially towards the end of the movie series, I started to get pretty confused.
Yeah, they stop, I'm going to say, like, after movie 3, movies 4 through 8, which is ridiculous that there's 8. Like, if you don't read the books, you're gonna maybe get the gist of the movie, but you're gonna be a little lost. And so that's the only reason those movies work. With this, it's like, if you're gonna do this, you need the backbone. Like, if you're gonna, like, make it a big old franchise, make books. Have the fans kind of feed off of that and then go toward it. So at least you have something to work off of. But, like, otherwise it's just like, that's why, what you're saying with Marvel, they have stories for days, and, like, people can go and be like, oh, let me read the original story first and see what they're going to go do.
Right. They should have done, like, a TV show. They could have also, they could have just done an original thing. I would say another big part of this, and a lot of these, is, like, I don't know, have someone write it who wants it to mean something.
Yeah, please, just at the very least, like, it's great to have that source material, like Star was saying, but at the very fucking least, just write it first. Don't be like, we're gonna make 5 of these, 1 a year.
Yeah,
write the thing first and see if it even is anything.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, have it mean something, because you can't write a like, you can't go movie to movie and, like, jazz this series.
Yeah,
and, like,
people
you need to
gonna
look
give
at
a shit.
Yeah, you need to look at the whole picture, write it in advance, and make sure it means something. If you have a gay storyline that can be plucked out and modular, like it's happening with this. Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah.
They for the China release, they just lifted the couple lines, and it's like, so you designed it that way, didn't
Gross.
you? You designed it so that it could be lifted out for other audiences. That sort of spineless corporate thinking is like, you're not making a real story at that point. You're making
it.
Yeah.
This is like a very long commercial to sell product. It's not
right.
Like, yeah.
And movies, and a lot of blockbusters are accused of that over time, but it's gotten to this point where it's like the balance, these are the examples of the balance getting too far to the studios, and the good news is that most people are like, yeah, this is gross. Like, most people don't like this shit.
Yeah.
And so...
No, yeah, they've the first Fantastic Beasts did pretty well, but the second one did like half that.
Well, the second one,
because it was terrible.
From what I remember, because I spoiled myself before. I did not go see it because I was just like, I'm curious. Tell me what the story is, and then I'll decide. And it was stuff like Nagini is actually like Voldemort's the big bad guy's snake, who's like a big part of the story, the original series, like.
Right.
Was actually like an Asian woman who had a disease that she slowly turned into a snake and then got stuck that way.
Huh.
So.
Oh, I do remember that.
So it was
from
like,
that movie.
wait, you mean to tell me the snake that at the end of the Harry Potter series, which is very much just depicted as this is an evil snake. This is a beast. It is a evil thing. And it gets its head chopped off by like one of the other characters who's like a big hero. Used to be a woman who had a disease, and the bad guy like kidnapped, essentially like was like, I'm gonna take you in because now you're just an animal. Like, knowing that's the end of that character's like whole arc is so tragic and sad, and not like, oh, what a tragic tale. Just like, that's like offensive. That's just horrible.
That is pretty offensive. Yeah.
One of the few Asian characters too in the series too, where you're just like, oh. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, that's bad.
You did that. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
This shit feels... It's another reason why Marvel works, is that for all my problems with Marvel at this point, it's never joyless. It's never like... It feels like they're trying.
Yeah.
They're still trying. And this is just like this stuff, where it's gross, and it's joyless, and it's corporate, and it's just... We're not, people are not into it anymore.
I do like that at least Marvel gives themselves space to experiment too. They're like, we might not experiment with our movies, but we at least have like these TV series where we could like, doodle here a little bit and see what works. And my biggest note still is they definitely make their gay characters modular as well. Yes, that is true.
Yep.
Yeah. And so I want to see them actually work a gay character into a plot where they can't just like cut a single scene and suddenly they're not gay. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I would love to see Moon Knight make out with another handsome dude. That would be cool. That would be fun.
Right. And it's wild to me that they're treating it like what is this? The fucking 60s? Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
Disney doesn't know what to do with themselves, because they're just like, no, well,
they really don't.
We want the conservatives to still really like us because they give us a lot of money because of our quote-unquote wholesome image, but then they're just like, but also, we can't, like, it's just, they keep playing like this
but also, like, they have so many, like, artists working for them and who were gay, so it's like, it's just like, you can't pretend.
Howard Ashman saved that company.
Right.
You can't. You owe the LGBTQ community so much for where you are right now. Fucking grow a fucking spine, Disney. You already own everything. Yeah. You might as well.
I'm really proud of like all the employees that were like, I am going to say things now. Because they could all walk. They could easily all walk, and it would just be like, you guys are fucked.
I think. Didn't the animation the animation studio, they all walked out.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, Burbank. Like, for more than, like, a day or two. Like,
for more than a day, yeah.
If they were like, no. And which, I mean, even the day worked because they, like, were like, hey, we're not going to fund any politicians right now. And I was like, well, good. keep that up. But like, man, if the employees really wanted to fuck them up, they could be like, you're gonna gay the fuck out of everything in this park. We're gonna show the princesses holding hands together, and they're gonna sweetly like hug and give kisses on the cheek, and they're gonna be a couple. Like, you don't have to like make it like quote unquote obscene. Like, they don't have to be fucking everywhere. Like, it's just.
But they can be.
But they could be.
They'll do that
affection.
in downtown Disney.
Gentle, sweet affection. That's all.
Right.
Like.
Yeah. I mean, this is an entirely different conversation, but that's what's happening in Florida right now, where they're associating talking about being gay with like grooming and sex, and it's like, that's not the same thing.
No.
Now is it?
Not at all.
You're making it that.
I was like,
I
was like, what happens to the Little Mermaid? Doesn't she get married at 16?
Like, sure does.
She sure gets married at 16 years old to a grown-ass man. Like,
she has a line, I'm 16 years old. I'm not a child anymore. That is a line, she says. And 3 days later, she marries an adult man.
Who found her nude on the beach and she couldn't talk.
Yep.
Fucking
wrapped her up in trash and moved her in his house.
Wild vision.
I think the progression was at least Jasmine, I think, and Aladdin were both like 16 or 17 or something.
It's kind of unclear how old they are, but they appear to be about the same age.
Yeah.
Right.
But jeez.
But yeah. Luckily, the people in charge are cowards and can be bullied.
Oh, yeah.
And Disney it seems like that's what's happening with Disney right now, but they gotta fucking commit. They gotta,
They really do. That needs to, like, we're not going to donate money to politicians right now. It needs to just be, we're not going to donate money to politicians, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Perhaps corporations shouldn't
be allowed to do that.
Yeah,
but that's a different podcast.
When are you guys going to start your political journalism podcast?
Oh, God.
Man.
Team up with Cody, another Cody Katie podcast with you guys.
We're gonna take them down.
Yeah. We're gonna compete directly with
them. Yeah.
While we're both writing scripts for their show.
Yeah. All right. Well, next news. They're making a Spirit Halloween movie.
Sure.
And honestly, this is a case of striking where the iron's hot, where someone told somebody that they're a meme, and they were like, yeah, let's do it, baby. It's starring Christopher Lloyd and Rachel Lee Cook.
Sure.
It's about a Halloween store that appears in a deserted strip mall where 3 middle school friends break in and spend the night, and they find out that the store is haunted and by a spirit who possesses the animatronic characters in the Spirit Halloween. I am 100% behind this.
Me too. I think it's like a good classic kids Halloween movie. Like, I feel like we grew up with stuff like this, and why not do it? Yeah.
Right. I've seen a few takes, like this Variety article actually has it, where they like almost cynically are like, another like toy tie-in, like Transformers or Barbie, and it's like, hold on. We're talking about Spirit Halloween here.
Yeah.
They're not some big corporate entity.
Yeah.
Or maybe they are, but
I do wish that plot was a little more imaginative.
Yes, of course.
Like, I feel like you could have a lot of fun with the idea of a Spirit Halloween movie.
I want to know.
Yeah, I
want to know what they're going to do with all the, like, you know how, like, Spirit, they have all this, like, IP fraud type stuff? Like, all the costumes are just off, or, like, their titles of these costumes are, like, they're just not the actual thing.
They're legally distinct.
Right. I want to see those costumes.
That would be great.
In this movie. I want to see how they get away with, like, barely skirting IP. I think that would be funny.
Right, where they're like, oh no, the white-faced stalker man is attacking.
Let's get the boy wizard Larry Potter.
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, part of me wishes they got like Ari Aster. Like, I would have liked them to do like a gritty, dark horror movie where they're like, no, this is going to be terrifying, but this is going to be for like, I think preteens.
This is for kids.
This is for children. Yeah. Which is, it should be. Kids, I guess kids need their own content. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. They're not the ones digging on the meme though.
Right. I want one of these tie-ins, because I always think of Ouija 2 that got Mike Flanagan, and like that's still a PG-13, but that movie like That movie rips. Like, that movie goes for it.
That is what you were just describing, Dave. It's
Exactly.
like, what if we took the board game movie and made it scary?
Right, but I would argue the first Ouija was like, it's that like teen horror where it's like, yeah, we're still trying to be scary, but we don't want to make it a horror. I want like, you know what I want.
Yeah.
I want,
we
like,
want David
hard
Cronenberg to do Spirit Halloween.
Holy shit.
Spirit Halloween grows inside of you.
Oh no.
That would be so fucking good.
What? I guess. I mean, I wanted to ask, like, what, like, kids' Halloween movie do you guys remember growing up being your jam? Like, in the sense of, like, that it was made for children. Because I also know, like,
the
you
Garfield
guys...
Halloween special.
Garfield Halloween special I fucked with, yeah.
Yeah, the other problem is, though, like, I watched horror movies
Right,
as
that's
a
what I was going
kid.
to say. Outside of the actual horror movies that you guys were exposed to.
Probably Gremlins would be the one that I watched the most that was sort of intended for children.
There was...
Yeah.
For me, there was this cartoon. I can't remember the name of it, but the premise of the cartoon was that and this is like after Saturday morning type thing, where, like, you know, after the cartoons they'd show a movie. There was in the movie a kid was dying, like the group of kids, one of their friends was dying, and they had to go through all of the different versions of Halloween around the world to, like, find their friend's soul and rescue him from death. And the end, the end of the movie resulted with, like, Death essentially telling these kids, like, your friend is still sick, he's gonna die. What do you offer in exchange? And all of the friends offered, like, 10 years off of their own lives to give to their friend.
Oh my god!
Yes, and
so
this was
the friend still lives to be like 30, but it's.
I get it was just really weird.
How many friends?
It always stuck with me because I was just like, those kids are gonna, like, when they hit their, like, 50s, like, Death is gonna be like, yo, knock, knock, knock. Remember when you saved your friend? I'm here to collect. Yeah. And that just always stuck with me. And that was like, and I don't remember the name of it. It definitely was a cartoon. If someone could, like, find that.
Yeah, that's haunting.
But I never saw that. Yeah, I don't know that one.
It was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like Tree of Life. Not Tree of Life. Like, it was like the Halloween tree, something tree. I don't know. It was weird, and it stuck with me because I always thought about what would you do if you gave away 10 years of your life at the end of your life.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Some Death Note shit.
Mm-hmm.
It would be amazing if Death turned to one of the kids and he's like, you don't have enough years to give. I'm sorry.
Oh, right. Yeah, if they're all cashed him in and Death's like, okay. He's like, right. And it turns around to leave and then stops. Oh, Jimmy, I'm only going to be able to take 4 from you.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Know how to tell
I'm only going to be able to take 4 from you.
In fact, when I take away those 4, you're going to have to come with me now.
We're just going to have a swap right now.
Yeah. Man, yeah, someone tell us what it is. Because, yeah, for me, it was like Pet Sematary. And, like, I guess Labyrinth. Labyrinth is a fucked up film, right?
It's pretty wild. Like Return to Oz. But those aren't really Halloween movies. They're just kids movies that are just incidentally fucked up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it's just Garfield Halloween special.
Yeah.
For me and The Evil Dead.
A lot of Simpsons Halloween, too.
Oh, yeah.
But those weren't necessarily made for kids either. So really, it was just like the Garfield Halloween special and Gremlins. Like everything else that, I was watching, like, well, Ghostbusters, I suppose, but...
Ghostbusters, yeah, Ghostbusters. That is the thing.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
I just looked it up. It is called The Halloween Tree. It's based on a Ray Bradbury novel.
Of fucking course it is.
1993 animated fantasy drama television. Produced by Hanna-Barbera.
Directed by David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the kids give up a year at the end of their lives. I was just like, that's not going to do shit.
Yeah, would you buy this kid 4 more years?
Yeah,
I mean, I'll take it, but...
Leonard Nimoy did a voice in it.
Oh man,
I hope he voiced one of the children.
Yeah. I was gonna say if he's not voicing one of the kids, they did it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
He's making no effort to disguise his voice.
Yeah, I want to watch this now too. This looks like something.
Oh man, well, Dave, we should probably name some more producers.
All right, we're done with news stories. All right, big thank you to the Midnight Patron with patrons at midnight.
Thank you.
Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew, the proud Satanist house.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you to RevMD.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lauren Gucci. Thank you very much. Thank you to Bootler Boodleson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux.
Tux.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Norm.
Thank you to Space McNulty.
Space McNulty. Let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thanks,
Thank you
Mom.
to Nolan Mayton.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew. Follow Marina on Twitch and Patreon at Heartfist Brain McGuire.
Yeah, do it.
Thank you to AJ.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Thank you.
Thank you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you to the ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparks, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick. Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you to Funky J.
Thank you.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Thank you. Whew. Episode over.
Not so fast, Dave.
Uh-oh.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh. We plug stuff?
No, Dave.
Okay.
I need you to open up your ears.
Okay.
Just open up your little ear peepers.
Okay.
And hear the words that I'm asking you, okay?
Okay.
Do you
Me.
have a movie
Okay.
that deserves more hype?
Yes.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, sort of. I have a movie. That I feel obligated to tell people about in case they don't know.
That's sort of deserving.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I don't know if people know. There's a film out there called Tromeo and Juliet. It was written by James Gunn, and it was a Troma film. And I have a signed copy of it. Troma is a studio that purposefully does just disgusting, vile, stupid, badly made films. And they're so good at doing them. They, of course, made The Toxic Avenger, which is getting remade. They're so good at that combination between feeling genuine but still being fun and gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Neil Breen, where it's like it's hard to recreate it. And part of the reason why is there's a man named Lloyd Kaufman who has just been doing this since, I don't know, the 80s. And he's just like this weird old man who's, you can never quite tell how much he knows. Like, he knows it's weird, right? He knows it's all weird.
Yeah, but I think
the point is,
I feel like he's the only one who's like truly earnest in his writing.
Right. Yes.
He's certainly the best actor in this trailer.
Yeah. So he is making, and you know what? He's getting up there. I'm not saying that they're going to stop making Troma films, but they are now adapting, I believe, The Tempest.
Sort of.
Listen, as much as Tromeo and Juliet, this is called Shakespeare's Shitstorm. It is brought to you by Troma. It's currently touring in festivals, which means it'll probably be out pretty soon. They're not going to put it out in theaters, so it's going to tour and then it's going to go to streaming. Yeah, it's looks like a very clumsy social commentary, which wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
About cancel culture and right wing religious, it's that idea of we're going after both sides, but it's Troma, so it's going to be really really sweaty. Yeah, it's about one
might even say poorly executed.
Right. I've also learned that someone I know is in this film. I don't want to call him out, but I'm so excited for him that he gets to be in a Troma film, because I guarantee he's wanted to be in a Troma film for a while. So it's about what is it even about? A pharmaceutical company making it's the opioid epidemic, and it's a pharmaceutical company that a man is going to destroy, and the plan is they have this yacht party, and he's going to give a whale X-Lax, and the whale is going to shit all over them, and there's a resistance, and then it seems like what happens is they poison all of the people with this designer drug, and it becomes this shit show The review I see here is Eric Fox, who does the effects, seems to take some inspiration from the look of failed balloon animals. And
Perfect. Perfect
and
description.
the shunting scene in Society. Good God. To create some fairly jaw-dropping moments of what the fuck am I looking at? There's a couple creatures that's been labeled Armadildo and Cock with a Cock. It's a trauma film, folks.
Yeah.
It's a trauma film. It's not for everybody, but you know who you are if it's for you.
Is it supposed to be
What do
like
you
also
guys think?
mocking like Island of Dr. Moreau or something like that?
So yeah, it's all over the fucking place. It's not a good movie, but what trauma film is, honestly, I actually legit think Romeo and Juliet is a very good movie. I mean, for what it's trying to be. I haven't watched it in a while, but I mean that one is narrated by Lemmy from Motorhead. Like,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful choices. Troma, of course, by the way, is the distributor of Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah,
Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman discovered Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Oh.
Yep. Universal, once South Park hit it off, Universal was like, hey, can we buy that from you? And he was like, nope. Because everybody rejected Cannibal the Musical, and then Troma was like, oh, we'll take that.
Yeah, we'll put
take
it
that
out.
off your hands. And then they got famous, and they're like, well, shit, this is gonna give us some money for a while. Yeah. Troma, what do you guys think? In or out?
I mean, I'll watch it for like a bad movie night. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, Star, you've been in Troma level.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Bits.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
always forget you're in that.
yeah, I'm not opposed to movies like this. I think they're fun. Yeah. This is up my alley.
Yeah. It's very much like an old man who's going to go off on like cancel culture, which isn't to say it's like going to be upsetting more than it's going to be like eye-rolly, I'm sure, at times. But it's Troma, man. We love them.
Yeah.
They exist. I am so baffled why more people don't like if I was like Brad Pitt, I would do a Troma film.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ben Kingsley, like there's so many actors who it's like, why aren't you in a Troma
I mean,
film?
Ben Kingsley has done like Uwe Boll films, so
Right.
which I
if
argue
you did
is
the
worse.
Love Guru,
Yeah.
do a Troma film.
Yeah, like the Love Guru is worse than the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. If I was Maggie Smith, I would be in a Troma film.
Oh man, could you imagine? Just the
It
entire
would be so
the
good.
entire cast of Gosford
Oh
Park.
my god,
Oh, yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah.
I would. I recently watched a movie called, I want to say, Ice Truckers, Space Truckers, Ice Space Truckers, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Space Truckers, yeah.
Yeah, and what's her name? Angela Houston was in it. And I was just like,
Oh,
That's
Angelica
great.
Houston?
yes, Angelica Houston was in it. And I was just like, she's too good for this movie. But every time she was there, I was just like, I want more of her.
That's so good. I'm reading here that Kevin Costner was in a Troma film.
Sure, why not?
I think it was like before he was famous.
Man, that would have had to been a
19
while ago.
I don't know. It looks like it must have been the 1980 film Malibu Hot Summer. 1981. That I'm guessing he wasn't even in it that much, but he is on the cover. Like it is they're using him as the it's very much Tom Hanks in that D&D movie.
Oh,
It feels
yeah.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, man, 81, you said? That's 2 years before Kevin Costner gets completely edited out of The Big Chill. So, yeah, he's not a big star yet.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
Sure. I remember watching the Toxic Avenger for the first time and being really upset.
It's an upsetting film.
Yeah, that's a lot of movie to throw at a kid in second grade.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that.
Oh no.
But yeah, I mean, I don't sit and watch Troma's movies. I don't like them all that much, but I have always enjoyed kind of what they're about. Mm-hmm. You know, just like their vibe and like Lloyd Kaufman's vibe. Like I'm glad he's out there making this.
Yeah, I was thrilled to meet him. I always wanted to meet him.
Oh yeah.
And like we had a booth for Cracked across from the Troma one. Michael J. White has been in Toxic Avenger 2. That's
Oh hell yeah.
that's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, it's sort of like the who am I thinking? Who did the Fantastic Four, the first one? The first one.
Oh, Ronnie Cox?
Oh, who's the
wait.
filmmaker?
Oh, Roger Corman.
Roger Corman. It's the Corman vibes where like Lloyd Kaufman has this like spirit of filmmaking, like energy, where he makes me excited about indie horror, and he makes trash, and he makes it with so much joy, and he says yes to everything. And that creates situations where like, yeah, James Gunn has him he's in a Marvel film.
He's in a Marvel
Lloyd
film. He
Kaufman.
sure is.
Yeah, because he took a shot on James Gunn, and he let him write fucking Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I used to watch a bunch of films. Like, I used to watch them as a teenager, and then you get older, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
The humor isn't doing it anymore for me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of respect.
Yeah, for sure. He's got a really good on one of the episodes of Cursed Films. I can't remember which. I think it's the Landis one about the Twilight Zone movie. He's interviewed for it, and he gives a really cool interview about like even on his micro budget tiny productions, he's still like, no, I'm not putting anyone in any kind of harm's way. It's like, it's just we're just making a movie's not worth that.
Yeah.
He actually seems on Twitter, I mean, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, people, but on Twitter and stuff, he seems like a pretty decent guy too. Like, I think I think that's part of the reason he's survived so long is because, it seems
For
like
sure.
he treats people well, at least on set. Michael J. White, by the way, first 3 movies. The Toxic Avenger Part 2.
Okay.
The Toxic Avenger Part 3.
Oh, keep going.
Wow.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who is he
That
in Turtles
is-
2?
He's credited as audience man.
Oh, he must be in the nightclub. Oh, I'm going to comb through that frame by frame tonight looking for him.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect.
Wow. Good for him.
Good for
Honestly,
him.
yeah. That's a real solid 3-peat there.
Yeah. What a great start to a career.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Man.
If I ever meet him at work, like every once, because my day job is I edit for a company called blacklove.com, and they've definitely done interviews with him before, and I edit those videos. So I'm like, if I ever meet him at one of these like shoots, I kind of want to ask him about Toxic Avenger 2.
Yeah. You're going to
And
have
be
to.
like, hey, so I need to know, what was that like? Because
Yeah.
I doubt anybody would bring it up, especially in the context of the like what he's always on set for, which is just like, I'm going to talk about my marriage. And like, that's
Right.
really what he's there for. So I don't think anybody would ask him ever about his first movie.
Oh, yeah. I think he probably would be delighted. It's like, I don't know. I really want to ask Paul Giamatti about duets because I feel like he'd have something to say about that. Don't know if it'd be good. but-
I'm fascinated to hear it, though.
Yeah.
Right. Or he's like, you're like the 10th person to think they're clever by approaching me about duets. I don't know. It's either one, right? Like, maybe a bunch of people are like, I need answers. But frankly, I need answers. So,
Oh, man. Well, guys, that's a sode. We've done it.
Yay!
that is a sound. We did do it.
Oh, Star, thank you so much for being on.
Of course, anytime.
What do you want to tell people? Where do you want to send them? What do you got to plug?
I
Yeah.
have 3 things to plug. Go read my webcomic, Ruby Whipple, at rubywhipple.com, and then also go buy art at starlinearts.com. And if you're into Judaica art, go buy my art at ataraserena.com.
Do it!
That's it.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Do that, people. Do it.
Please do.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Weddings are expensive.
Oh my god.
Weddings are expensive.
It's so dumb.
Yep.
It's so,
You won't believe how expensive they are.
Right.
Dave, why don't you tell them some stuff?
Yeah, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You go on there for just $5 a month. You get access to a bunch of podcasts, is what I think they're called. Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys. Star actually did the art for one of those.
Yay.
That would be Fox Mulder is a Maniac. Every Friday night, that's the night this comes out, we watch movies with our patrons. Real quick, a little bit of business.
Right.
We're not going to be doing a We Just Watched for Monday, just because we're fucking busy. It's Easter. And then we're also taking a week off, the first week of May, I believe.
Yeah.
Not much is going to change, except there won't be a Hypecast that week. And
there won't be a Hypecast or We Just Watched.
Yeah. But otherwise...
For one little old week.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, you guys will be all right.
But yeah, check out the Patreon.
You're allowed a little vacation. It's okay.
Yeah.
We also have a store. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store, where we have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on T-shirts and stickers and mugs and posters, all kinds of junk. So, cruise on by there if you feel like it.
Yeah, there's some artwork from Star.
Yeah.
There is.
Go buy art, everybody. Yeah. I feel like everybody would feel better in general if you just bought some art.
Right. It's true.
It really is. Yeah, you wouldn't think how much difference just hanging up a piece of art can make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It can be weird, sexy fan fiction art. It can be anything. It can be some Cronenberg stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm about to send you a link to an artist I started following on Twitter that I could barely look at his art, but it's so good that I'm going to send it your way. I'll just say, if you guys go on Twitter, the guy's username is Slop Jockey, SLOPP Jockey. It's some weird shit. It's some weird, gross shit, but like artistically done. It's very Cronenberg. I'm fascinated and horrified when I look at his artwork.
Ooh.
All right, that's the best kind of fascinated.
It really is.
Yeah, it's definitely like, I can't look away, and I feel gross.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at some H.R. Giger stuff. That's great.
Dope. All right, let's end this podcast so we can look at it.
All right.
Goodbye, say goodbye, everybody. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.